In the studio today, a gentleman who you used to hear on a regular basis on Wednesdays, but haven't been lately since I think around the first of the year with the Health Coach feature. We're talking today with Dr. John Catanzaro. Hi, Dr. John.
Hi, glad to be here today.
Good to see you again, kind of under tough circumstances as we found out through the grapevine. I didn't know this, but one of the reasons that we're not hearing you currently is because of some legal trouble you've been getting into or got into with one of the patients that you were treating. And the larger issue that we want to discuss today is, again, how this is affecting people's choices for health care in Washington State. And tell us a little bit about what happened back in January.
Back in January, I've been practicing medicine and cancer treatment for 17 years. But back in January, I just wanted to outline for you what had occurred. A patient that I have had privilege to treat and still comes to our clinic for supportive care. She had a very aggressive tumor, very stage 4. She's diagnosed as triple negative stage 4 cancer. She was hemorrhaging from the tumor. She was going to a cancer institute here in Seattle, having traditional oncology done, and basically her oncologist, who is also the director of this institute, basically said to her that, she doesn't have any other options except for some toxic chemo strategies that the patient did not want to do because they pretty much diagnosed her as having only 6 months to live, a year at best. And so the patient refused and said that she was going to look at other options, and so she did. She was advised by another physician to come to see us at Health and Wellness Institute, because of the responses and success that we've had with advanced cancer. And so she did that. So we developed a personalized treatment plan for her, and we started her on this plan very quickly. Within 10 days of starting her therapy, her tumor started breaking off in large clumps. It was a very aggressive tumor that was causing hemorrhaging. And then within a month, her tumor was completely gone. She had gone back to the same oncologist, and the oncologist was not very happy about that. So the oncologist...
Why would the oncologist not be happy about somebody making progress in their fight?
First of all, I believe that it's because it's outside of the confines of what they do traditionally. So it's not, if it's outside of the current medical landscape, then
they're suspicious.
Then there's a suspicion. Yes, that's correct. Mm-hmm. And integrative medicine has a lot of powerful modalities that are employed, and a lot of them happen to be with personalization of therapy using a patient's own body product, their own tissue. And treatment is derived. It's immune treatment that's derived from that point of view, and it's very, very effective in getting the immune responses to be more peaked and more efficient. Whereas chemotherapies, as you know, really wipe the immune system out. They're very toxic, and oftentimes they make patients very, very sick. Sure. And patients can succumb to that, and oftentimes they don't survive if they have a very advanced stage cancer. Mm-hmm. So in this particular instance, the tumor regressed and broke off in large pieces, as I mentioned. The patient stopped bleeding. She stopped needing a transfusion. Originally, her surgeon told her that she had no surgical options, so believe it or not, she self-repaired, so she didn't need surgery. This patient is now, alive today, 2 years cancer-free with no tumor recurrence.
Wow.
So this is just one story among many stories, as what was been brought out up in the news here over the last 4 or 5 months. And, we have gone through a tremendous legal battle at this point because of the fact that, the Department of Health is actually saying that this was out of the confines of the scope of practice, that it's unprofessional conduct, that it was a threat and exposure of safety, no safety to patients. It's the intent to do harm to the patient was there because the patient wasn't properly informed, which all patients were informed very carefully. They signed informed consents. We followed all that protocol, but there's insistence that these patients were exposed to harm. The interesting thing is that this whole experience happened in February of 2012 is when it initially happened. And they didn't come to suspend my medical license until January 29th of 2014. saying that I was an imminent threat to patients.
So that's now the condition. You've been suspended, and you're fighting this.
Yes, that's correct. Mm-hmm. But because the legal battle is so intense and costly financially, I'm not able to keep up with the financial ability to, retain counsel. Mm. So we have to come up with other strategies here because the fact that it's been extended out so long. I mean, this is now going on the 6th month. Mm. And when they first served me, they didn't serve me graciously. They actually came in very aggressively and threatened to have me removed from the premises of my clinic and threatened to have me arrested if I didn't give up my credentials. And the thing about it is that my attorneys were already in correspondence with them, so there was no need to do that. Wow. And the fact that, it took 2 years almost to serve me saying that I was an imminent threat to patients is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, this is just very disheartening for people who struggle with any kind of illness, but particularly cancer. A lot of times, you do hear that the only option is this or death, and there are alternatives. It seems like this is kind of a coordinated effort to just shut down naturopathic approaches to a lot of things, particularly cancer. And is it just jealousy, or is it a legitimate concern, do you think, on the part of the medical community?
I believe that the medical community has no legitimate concern in this. And the point is that right now in conventional medicine, how things are weighed on the conventional medical landscape is based on an evidence-based model. And that evidence-based model of medicine is usually geared toward one single agent that would be studied under clinical phase trials, which in naturopathy or integrative medicine or alternative medicine, you can't weigh alternative medicine on the same scale that you do conventional medicine because there are other modalities involved. Plus, the therapies are personalized. So what works for person A may not work for person B the same. So there has to be a different type of evidence-based system for alternative care that would be more effective in showing efficacy. But by and large, alternative medicine and integrative medicine is very safe and effective. It empowers the patient. It's personalized because the patient has something that's uniquely tailored to them to help them to recover from any kind of disease process. It's not disease focused. It's not based on a penalty system, and it's not based on the risk system. It's about empowering the patient, giving them the ability to choose what would help them to get well.
Yeah, that seems like that's the bottom line of this. It's the choices in medicine and choices in treatment. And some people don't like the naturopathic approach, alternative medicine approach, and you're getting a lot of pushback. This has affected a lot of naturopathics around the country and in Washington too.
That's correct. Yeah. And I don't really get how you look at the naturopathy program and even my alma mater, Bastyr University, very, very prestigious and very, very thorough in its educational process. And the thing about it is that the silence is just incredibly disturbing because you have the naturopathic profession that's taking a physician like me who's been out in the community almost 18 years. I've been in practice for 17 going on 18 years. And I'm very, very experienced in a lot of these protocols and have a great reputation in the community. And now what you're doing is you're going to revoke a license of a seasoned professional that's out there that interfaces with the community. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. To me, it seems like that if you really want to promote naturopathy, you really need to get to the experienced physicians that are out there that are paving the way. I have never had any safety or efficacy issues or patient harm issues in my career as a naturopath. And
in reverse of that, actually, you've had a lot of success and many stories, not just this one that brought this case, but many success stories in treating cancer.
That's correct.
I think proof would be in the pudding, as they say. Well, if people would like to help you find out more, how do they do that?
They can actually go to our website, which is www.hwifc.com, and they also can go on a website called fightforcancer.com. And that basically, that website is there. There's a video explaining the process and what has happened, and it's also letters on that website to show patient supportive letters. We have received a lot of patient support letters from patients that I've treated over the years. Yeah. And if you want to contribute financially, that would help us with our legal fight. If you want to help by writing letters and being vocal and sharing it with your neighbor and sharing it with your friends, it's really about the right to maintain the ability to choose your treatment. And especially in any kind of fatal illness or a life-threatening illness, it's important that you have those options and choices.
Yeah. Again, fightforcancer.com. Find out more about what Dr. Catanzaro has been dealing with. You can donate there and also share stories. I know a number of years your feature has been on KCIS, the Health Coach feature. I think it was one of our more popular vignettes that we had on KCIS as far as web traffic. So people are interested in health and healthcare choices and treatment choices, and you certainly have been offering that for many years, like you say, through the Health and Wellness Institute. This is a good man, folks. Get behind him, pray for him, and pray how you might help him. Again, fightforcancer.com. Thanks, Dr. Catanzaro. Keep us posted.
I certainly will. Thank you so much.